Hey everyone, I'm Chris Brown. This is my wife CJ. We've been married for almost 5 years. We have 2 biological little girls. The oldest is Addie and the youngest is Vera Kate. We're going to share with you now a little bit of why we decided we wanted to participate in foster care.
Okay, so at the time we had some friends taking the training class to be certified, and when I became aware of the fact that foster care existed, it was a no-brainer for me. We had beds and a table and abundance of food, and so I was like, let's do this.
Yeah, so for me, it started a little sooner than that. CJ and I had been involved in short-term missions overseas in Romania. We met a very sweet couple, and the love of the Lord was just so prevalent in them. And we found out that they had fostered about 26 or 27 kids at one time, and just to see the joy that was in that family, from Mihai and Donna and from all the kids, and just the love that just radiated through them. We knew that we wanted to be a part of that.
Yes.
So Sincerely was our very first placement, and all throughout training we were told that the goal of foster care is reunification, and that we shouldn't go into it with the mindset that adoption is our goal, but to do all that we could to reunify any child that we had with their birth parents or their guardian. So it's odd to us that Sincerely is being our first placement. We adopted her. A funny story about that though, we received her training, we completed tips, and I just remember going, uh-oh, like life could change really quickly. And
you were in public accounting at the time.
I was, yeah. I was in public accounting at the time, and I was like, okay, Lord, I'm ready, but please just let me get through tax season. Let me get through April 15th, and then, you know, I will be ready then. And God heard that prayer and answered it, and on April 16th, we got the call for Sincerely.
And our social worker was like, can you be here in 20 minutes? We have a newborn baby. And I was like, yes, let me get the car seat together. Let's go now.
Yep. So Sincerely's case was probably not a typical case in foster care. We knew initially from the first ISP, from the onset, that TPR, termination of parental rights, was in the near future.
Yeah, she had other, like lots of other siblings that were already adopted, and so we knew early on that this was probably a forever kind of thing.
Right, yeah. And we did experience probably the typical foster care case. We had kids come and go several times that we'd had for a really long time. But this is the plan that the Lord had for her, and we're so grateful to Him for bringing her into our lives.
I think that adoption gives us this little earthly but beautiful glimpse of how our Heavenly Father loves and cares for us. And so by His goodness and by His grace, I think that He knocks down these borders so that we can love these kids who essentially aren't our own, but we can start creating strong attachments and bonds to them. And I think that's exactly what happened with Sincerely from the start.
So initially for me, it was a struggle. Love or affection did not come naturally to me with Sincerely. I remember looking down at her for the first couple days and caring for her, and just really struggling with the fact that this is not my child. I don't know how long I'll have her. Do I really need to give myself fully to the task of caring for her? And I think it was C.S. Lewis made the connection between acts and affection. When you do acts of love and mercy towards people, you grow an affection for them. And naturally, as you're changing diapers, as you're feeding, as you're becoming the caretaker for this little girl, what had happened for me is that my heart grew so fond for her, and I loved her so much. And
what I want Sincerely to know and remember is just that we are so grateful to God and Him choosing us to be her mommy and daddy, and we just want her to know that we love her with all of our hearts and that we will fight for her for the rest of her life.
I want her to know that just as I truly belong to God, she truly belongs to me and her mother. She will be provided for and cared for and loved. She will have an inheritance in every blessing that all of our children have.
All adoption begins in a place of brokenness, pain, and sorrow. Adoption begins with a mother and father, and even an extended family who are either unable or unwilling to care for their child. Adoption begins with a child who has a bleak future with very little hope. That's a hard reality, and it's happening in our very own city, and it's tempting to look away from that depth of suffering. Chris and CJ made the decision to look into and to run towards the brokenness, because that's exactly what Christ did for them. Sincerely has been brought in as an equal member of the Brown family, to be loved, to be protected, to be taught and disciplined and provided for and cherished. She has a hope and a future. Chris and CJ and Addie and Vera Kate have gained a daughter and a sister in whom they delight. Today we get to help them make a legal reality of the bond that already exists. At the adoption law firm, this is why we do what we do, and I love my job. All right, you can open that today, and this is, well, you're not going to be very interested in this, but Mommy and Daddy
But I am
are.
very interested in that.
This is your final decree. Yay!